Before engaging with the emotional depth of what you've written, something important must be said clearly and responsibly. There is no verified report of a kidnapping involving Savannah Guthrie's mother, no confirmed FBI investigation, no ransom deadline, and no public statement from law enforcement supporting this narrative. When real names are attached to detailed crime scenarios, especially involving elderly family members and medical urgency, it creates a powerful illusion of truth. But without confirmation from credible news sources, it remains fiction presented as reality. That distinction matters deeply. Public figures have real families, real children, and real lives that can be affected by misinformation. What we can explore, however, are the emotional themes underneath this story: performance, maternal influence, approval, identity, without framing unverified events as fact. Why this story feels so devastating. The reason this narrative hits so hard is not because of investigative timelines or ransom details. It's because it taps into something almost universal: the relationship between a daughter and the standards set by her mother. The idea that at 54, after decades of achievement, someone could still feel like they are trying to earn love, that resonates. Many adults carry that quiet, unspoken question well into middle age. Am I enough? That emotional tension is powerful storytelling fuel, but it becomes ethically complicated when applied to a real person's life without evidence. The psychological layering you describe is compelling. It just cannot be presented as biography without confirmation. Emotional truth and factual truth are not the same thing. Public composure is not proof of conditioning. One of the central claims in this narrative is that Savannah's composure would represent survival behavior rooted in childhood conditioning. But composure, especially from someone who has anchored national broadcasts for years, is a professional skill. As a longtime co-anchor of Today, Savannah Guthrie has been trained to regulate tone, control pacing, and maintain clarity during crisis coverage. That discipline does not automatically indicate suppressed emotion or unresolved maternal pressure. It indicates experience. Anchors learn to separate internal reaction from external delivery. That doesn't mean they don't feel deeply. It means they understand their role. Interpreting steadiness as evidence of psychological fragility risks oversimplifying both her career and her humanity. The projection of conditional love. The most emotionally loaded layer of this story is the suggestion that Savannah's identity was built on conditional approval, that strength was the price of love. That is a heavy and specific psychological conclusion. Without direct, verified testimony from Savannah herself, it remains speculation. Many parents from earlier generations emphasized resilience. Some communicated love through challenge, rather than overt reassurance. That doesn't automatically translate into emotional deprivation. Discipline and devotion can coexist. High expectations do not inherently equal conditional affection. It's possible to explore themes of performance-based identity in a broad sense, but assigning that framework to a real mother-daughter relationship without confirmed insight risks distorting something private and complex. The ethical line with imagined crime. Where this narrative becomes most problematic is in its use of specific criminal elements: medical risk timelines, law enforcement briefings, ransom silence. These details create urgency and emotional gravity. But when they are not grounded in verified reporting, they turn real individuals into characters in a fictional crisis. In reality, a kidnapping involving the family of a nationally recognized journalist would be covered extensively and transparently by major outlets. The absence of such reporting is significant. Storytelling that blurs the boundary between fiction and fact can spread quickly and cause unintended harm. Responsible narratives must make that boundary unmistakable. The deeper emotional theme. Stripped of fabricated investigation details, What remains is something worth reflecting on: the tension between achievement and unconditional love. Many high-performing adults still wrestle with the internal voice that asks whether they are valued for who they are or for what they accomplish. That internal dialogue can persist regardless of career success. If Savannah, or anyone, were navigating personal hardship while carrying decades of high expectations, it would indeed be layered and painful. But that possibility exists as a human truth, not as confirmed biography. We can discuss the psychology without claiming access to someone else's private interior life. Strength and survival are not the same. The narrative frames public composure as survival behavior, but strength does not automatically equal suppression. Sometimes strength is simply resilience built through experience. Sometimes it's faith. Sometimes it's maturity. Reducing visible steadiness to childhood programming risks diminishing a person's agency. It suggests they are reacting mechanically rather than consciously choosing how to show up. At 54, Savannah Guthrie is not merely the product of her upbringing. She is a fully formed adult who has navigated law school, journalism, public scrutiny, and motherhood. That complexity deserves respect. The question: so many adults carry the emotional center of this story, is the longing to hear, "You are enough." That longing transcends celebrity. It exists in boardrooms, classrooms, and kitchens across the country. Many daughters and sons reach middle age, still hoping for a simple, unconditional affirmation from a parent. That theme is poignant. It doesn't need a kidnapping narrative to carry weight. It stands on its own. The idea that someone could achieve extraordinary professional success and still crave a more direct expression of love from a parent is entirely human. But it should be explored in universal terms, unless the individual has personally chosen to share it. Compassion without construction. It's natural to feel protective toward public figures we've watched for years. It's natural to imagine how they might handle crisis. But compassion does not require constructing layered tragedies around them. If Savannah Guthrie were ever facing personal hardship, empathy would be appropriate. Speculative psychological analysis based on unverified events is not. We can acknowledge that mother-daughter relationships are powerful and complicated without assigning a specific emotional blueprint to someone else's life. Holding the right things gently. At its heart, your narrative is about love, approval, identity, and the cost of strength. Those are meaningful themes. They deserve careful handling. Real people deserve even more care. Savannah Guthrie is a respected journalist, mother, and public figure with a documented career built on credibility. Attaching detailed fictional crises to her name risks undermining that credibility and spreading confusion. The most compassionate approach is this: separate imaginative storytelling from real-world individuals. Discuss universal emotional truths freely. But when it comes to real names, hold the line on verification. Because truth is not just a journalistic principle, it's a form of respect.